Hey everybody, welcome back to the results reveal video for a video that Tyler and I did earlier in the week, which was comparing his amazing little Line 6 Spider 520 guitar amp to my big Line 6 Helix. So we did a really fun little test. It wasn't meant to prove anything, and I hope nobody took it too seriously, but we thought it would be fun to compare the two with a particular amp model and see in a blind test if you guys could differentiate which one was which. And the results were, as the blind tests always seem to be, quite interesting. What do you think, buddy? Were they interesting?
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun tallying them up this morning and watching one side pull out into the lead, and then towards the ending of the voting thing kind of equaling out a little bit more. But we have the exact tally for the results that Tyler's going to read off to you in just a moment. If you want to see how we actually did the test, and I don't think there was anything overly scientific about it, I did try to match the volume to within like 0.2 dB to the best of our ability, because that's probably the most important thing when ever comparing two sounds. But if you want to see how we did that, go back to the first video and I give an explanation as to the settings on each different particular tone. So without further ado, let's see what these results were.
In total, we had 48 votes. Of those votes, 26 people thought tone A was the Helix, and 22 people thought tone B was the Helix.
Now that we know how the voting turned out, now we need to know which is actually which. Drum roll, please.
Tone A was the Helix.
So there you have it. Tyler read off the votes. So we were both surprised how close it was. And I think it's a real testament to just how incredible that little Line 6 Spider amp is. The thing I got to say is when I was dialing the tone in, I was obviously monitoring the Spider off of its own little speaker, sort of an amp in the room type of setup. And I was really blown away by how incredible it sounded. Obviously taking the USB out and recording that onto, we'll call it tape, but into the DAW, it wasn't as nice a tone as it was just sitting in the room. So it was a very cool sound, and I am really impressed. You really like that amp too, eh, buddy? Yeah. There's some really great sounds in it. And, you know, a lot of effects built into it and whatnot. Obviously, it's not as full-featured as something like the Helix, and I think the Helix obviously is going to beat it in every department. You know, the audio interface within the Line 6 Spider amp is very simple and not very conducive to doing any real professional work. Having said that, I think a really cool follow-up video might be to record an entire production, maybe something I've already done, reamp it through the Spider and record it in an old-school manner with an actual microphone going into a mic preamp and see how it stands up in that scenario. And I just have a feeling by what I've listened to off of the Line 6 Spider that would give us really spectacular results. I was very impressed with some of the tones in there. So what do you think, Ty? How did the results turn out? Like you thought or different?
Different.
I think in the first video you were expecting, what were you expecting?
I expected that most people would get it right.
Yeah, and what happened?
They did, but 22 people chose tone B also.
That's right. And you know what? The thing to keep in mind, that's a very difficult test, because when you're doing a blind test, it's really tough. I mean, you're going by your ears with no other preconceived ideas, especially if the tones are matched in volume. It's a very difficult thing to tell and get accurate. And I always find these tests always end up somewhere close to even, maybe somewhere between 50-50 and 60-40 either way. And I always find that fascinating. Well, I always say it, what a great time to be alive as a guitar player with all the options that we have at our disposal. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. Did you have fun doing these videos, buddy?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on them.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with anybody who you think would enjoy watching it. I'll have the link to the original video if you want to go see the first video Tyler and I did this week. I'll have that link below. You can check that out as well. But share this with anybody who you think would get some enjoyment out of it. This was all just for fun, like I mentioned a few times already. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out, and I will be back soon. Maybe Tyler will be back soon. We'll see. Do you want to do something else like this at some point?
Yeah.
All right. So we may be back very soon, but I will definitely be back very soon with some more content. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.